Hi everyone, it's Pierre Dracula here, and it's been a while since I had a finished painting tour, but I just finished this one. Let's zoom in here and start scanning over details. It features my main cartoon rat dude, Ricky B. the Rock and Roll Rat. The original title is going to be Pit Stop at the Petro Rat, which is what I was calling the gas station. I ended up not putting the name in underneath there. But I think I'm going to actually retitle it to Running on Empty, which kind of fits the thing. So here, I edit that little gap. So let's come real close in. Now, first of all, up on top, I do wrap the paint around, but generally speaking, I'm not going to bother to film that. So we've got a sky. Underneath, there was paint pen work. And in some spots, you can still see little bits of it. There were some these circles were done on top of the clouds. But I mean, underneath, you might be able to see a little bit under there where there were swirls and dots and circles. And then we did the clouds. And then I've added some very broad paint pen stuff. So I'm trying to adjust so I'm not casting too many shadows as I do this. And then we added lightning at the very end. I kind of had this pull this morning to add these really wide paint pen lines, but I think they work. So I've got the mountains underneath there. A few more of these little dots representing rain. And then Ricky. I have not varnished this painting yet. Once I do, then it'll be evenly shiny and you won't see some of these changes in shininess. So Ricky there. And then the ground and this strange light coming up from the ground. This main brightness on the ground actually was an artifact of photoshopping the reference image, but I decided to go with it, and then I did the more subtle echo on the other side. We've got a lake in the background. The reference photo for this was a photo I took many years ago driving into Hope, BC, which is, I don't know, a couple hours up the highway from Vancouver. And it was an overcast day. And I don't know why I took a picture of the gas station and the price, but I did. And then when I was looking for something to paint in a landscape painting class earlier this spring, this kind of stuck out at me. And then I added Ricky. And some stuff just kind of only really came together today. Like, he's got his little silver box that he's in. There wasn't lightning in the reference image originally. I added that today as well. I've kind of got a little bit of a feel, of lightning, but also of gold veining in rock ore. So I'm going to try stepping back and zooming in, and then I, in theory, don't cast the shadow while I do this. So yeah, this painting is going to be going on display very soon at the Cowichan Valley Fine Arts Show, which drop-off is April 30th. I think it opens on the 1st or the 2nd of May. And it will be for sale. So if you're in the area, do go check it out, and you can see it up close and in person. And I'm going to write a whole blog post about this piece. like some stuff, like the purple on the pavement, I was intending to be an undertone, and then I would do it gray, so it'd be a little more realistic, a little bit like the sky. But there's just something about that purple pavement where I was like, you know what, I think that works. And you know, purple is a penitential color as well, and I was working on this at the very start of Lent this year, which, not that that was the intention, but you know, it does kind of jive. So, you know, and the running on empty, like I said, it was originally going to be called Pit Stop at the Petro Rat, but that just kept coming at me today. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to change the color, because Ricky, or the, not the color, the name, because Ricky's kind of running on empty. You do see some of the grid poking through, but I kind of, at this point, I'm calling that a stylistic thing. And the other thing, what the original reference photo actually said was self, I think it was like 104.9, which must have been a lot cheaper than the price in Vancouver at the time, and that's probably why I took the photo. And it was diesel listed under without a price, just mentioning that they had it. And then as I was trying to get rid of the grid lines, I noticed that I kind of inadvertently made it say self-die. I was like, well, you know, they do say you should die to yourself and blah, blah, blah. Getting back to the whole Lent thing. Ricky kind of looks miserable as well, so it kind of fits with that, the weather, etc. And then, of course, we got the liquor store in the background. And the signage also is kind of what inspired the white bars. Like this sign there, I think originally said something like 200 bonus points or whatever, but I blocked it out and I was kind of happier without it being there. You can squint and see what it says, but yeah. So it's kind of the last painting I was working on also, which is pretty much done, but I don't think I've done with these video tours of it yet. Is kind of where it's like sort of realistic, but a little dreamlike and abstract-y and all that as well. So this is kind of, I guess, the next stage of that with the white bars, but I think it works, my opinion. And then lots of paint pen work all on top to bring out that kind of cartoony aspect. So there you go. That's my kind of on the fly, haven't prepared anything, hadn't planned what I was going to say, kind of take on this painting running on empty. And like I said, I will be sometime over the weekend. Actually, by the time this goes up, I probably will have already written the blog post that talks about the ideas a little more directly. But there you have it. Let's hope Ricky gets himself some gas and carries on. Maybe even breaks out of his little prison box that he carries with himself, eh? Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.